Welcome to your Daily Revolution Pop Podcast. Today's topic, slaying the dragon of fear. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's go! This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint.
My friends, welcome to the podcast. Listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, right, you know the deal. Hit the subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're listening to this, go leave a review on iTunes. That really makes a difference for us in our world. And thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for allowing this big, tall, dark, handsome, wink, wink guy to create value for you. Let's talk about the dragon of fear. Listen, I want you to know something. You know, when 10 years ago, 10 years at the time I'm shooting this, I was getting ready to go knock my third summer of door-to-door sales. Sales. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's your friendly Vivint guy. And I was managing, like this was my second year of managing, but really come my first year of like, I'm actually the guy. And I was afraid. Drove out my Scion box car. Got stopped by, the snow in Wyoming. Had to wait for 24 hours till they cleared the roads. I mean, it was crazy. And I get out to good old Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Huge shout out to Caitlin Clark, by the way, 22, Iowa Hawkeyes, great run, great, amazing season. So I'm out there and we're setting up apartments and hotels and city permits and knocking areas and correlation meetings and car drivers and car driver groups, et cetera, et cetera. And I can tell you right now, I had fear gripping me like an MMA fighter. It was like Khabib, right? The MMA fighter, if you don't know who he is, he's going to choke you out. It's like he had his arms around my neck, choking me out. See, fear does this to us. Fear actually kills us. Fear causes doubt, and doubt causes delay. Instead of taking action, most people just let fear stop them. I'm here to tell you something. Ready? Fear will kill you. It will destroy your dreams. Now, we can talk about that. I think you know that fear is a killer. How do we overcome fear? How do we slay the dragon? I'm going to give you 3 tips, 3 things that actually work, like 3 things to help you to overcome the fear. That if you do these 3 things, it's going to change your world. Why does this matter to you? Today, I live here in Destin, Florida, live in an amazing neighborhood right on the beach. I love to drive the cars that I drive. I have an amazing team that I am grateful for, that I love. I work in an office, our HQ. It's amazing. I have a lifestyle that I enjoy. I get to take my sons to school. My oldest son, we drive to early morning seminary. My 13-year-old, I pick him up about 6:15. We hit the gym together with all the boys. Come to the office about after I drop my 2 littles off at school, and we work for about good old 6 to 8 hours. Then I go home and go to soccer games and baseball and football games and lacrosse games, and then go to church activities. Then I go to bed. My life. But see, I can tell you right now, none of this happens if I don't slay the dragon of fear. Every one of you right now, you have dreams. Let's be real. You have dreams. You have desires. You have ambition. Like, you have stuff that you want. What is it? For some of you, you're like, how do I stay connected to my goals and dreams? Like, I start at the gym, then I stop. Then I start at the gym, then I stop. How do I get closer to my spouse, to my lover? How do I get out of debt? How do I make more money? How do I launch the podcast? How do I write the book? How do I go after the head coach position that I want to coach at? Again, how do I get the scholarship? I want you to know this, okay? Number 1, fear will never leave. Just write that down. Fear will not leave. Like, you will not overcome fear. Ready? People think, oh, be fearless. I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to have no fear. Like, here's the truth. You always have fear. Just say it. I'm going to have fear. Okay, now that we got that out of the way and we have some perspective and some context. Number 2, question the fear. Question it. What I mean by that is, it's like, I have a client. He is terrified to shoot a social media video with his phone. He's terrified to put a post on social media. He's terrified. He is afraid of doing something on social media. Let's question the fear. What are you afraid of? Again, you got to tell the truth, right? Obviously. What are you afraid of? And if you start to answer the questions, not out loud, but actually on paper or on a note, right? You got a Mac, use your notes, a Word doc, Google Doc, don't matter. What are you afraid of? And this was this morning. He's like, I'm afraid that I'm going to look silly. Okay, what else are you afraid of? And we listed out 5 of his answers. He's going to look dumb. He's going to look incompetent. No one's going to listen to him. They're going to compare him to all these other people. Just same thing. And while I'm talking about him, I want you to answer the question for yourself. What are you afraid of? What are you really afraid of? And then he said, I'm going to be compared to other people. Okay, cool. Is that true? Yes. Okay, great. It's true. You're going to be compared. And then I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And again, notice the questions, right? The first one, remember, there's 3 things here. The first one is you never overcome fear. Just understand it's always going to be there. Got $1 million in your bank account, you're still going to have fear. Have $10 million in your bank account, you're still going to have fear. Have a 6-pack and can run a 4-minute mile, you're still going to have fear. There's always something. So just know, okay, done. Number 2, question the fear or the story behind the fear. Let's take his example. I'm going to be compared to other people. Okay. Is that true? Yes. Okay. What does that mean if you get compared? It means that, now here's where your mind, you have to write this down. Because most of the stuff that you're talking about when it comes to fear, right? Most of all these things that you're talking about when it comes to fear is made up. It's made up. It's like the monster under the bed or in the closet when my kids were little. Even last night, sitting on the lazy boy, reading some scriptures, and I asked my son, hey son, the light's on upstairs. You left it on. Of course he leaves it on. Go turn it off. And he like looks at me. He runs up the stairs and he's like super slow. He looks around the corner. It's our house. There is no monster in the house. There is no clown in the house. There's nothing in there, but he has made up the boogeyman clown upstairs, the place that he just came from. I get it. So he looks over there and he goes, he's trying to reach and turn the light off. He's like, ugh. And I literally do this, right? If you ever, I think it's Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th or maybe Halloween, right? And there's like this sound in there. It's like, cha, 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 cha. And I'm starting to do that. And he's like, Dad, why did you do that? He runs down the stairs and I'm like, do you even know what that is? He's like, no, but it sounds scary. What if you just started to question the things you're afraid of and like question the meaning behind it? For my client who's afraid to go on social media, they're going to compare me, which means what? Which means I'm going to look dumb. Now we're into the story mode. All stories. Question it. Just question it. Ask the questions, the more powerful questions that you ask around the thing that you're afraid of. Oh my gosh, I'm single and there's a good looking person and I want to go ask her out, but what she's gonna, what? Say yes or no? Now, whether she says yes or no, it's yes or no. It's a binary, right? It's one or the other. And if she says, let me check my schedule. That's a no, but thank you. That's a whole nother conversation. But see, here's the crazy piece. We add so much meaning and story that by the time we're done telling our meaning and story and all this little tiny made up fear is this crazy monster. So this happened with my podcast. I remember when I was getting ready to start this podcast, we're 600 plus episodes in. I took my iPhone, not this one because this has been upgraded maybe once or twice. And I was in Boise, Idaho. And I took it out and I said, welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast, today's topic. And I shot it. It wasn't perfect. There was it was just, I shot it because I knew the story about fear was a lie. Number 1, there's always going to be fear perspective. Number 2, challenge and question the story and the fear and what's behind it. And number 3, act in spite of the fear. Like one of my mentors says, like fear is like a snake. He goes, the way to tame the snake is to just take the action. Go ask the girl out. Walk into the gym, write the book, write the post, shoot the video, make the sales call, do the thing that you're afraid of, get on the stage and speak. Like whatever it is that you're afraid of, I promise you on the other side, if you'll just act in spite of that dragon, you'll have some freedom and liberation. And then tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and that fear is going to be there again. And then you slay the dragon again. And every day you slay the dragon, guess what's going to happen? Every day. The dragon gets a little bit smaller and smaller. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm not even afraid of that. And then you go to the next challenge and the dragon's big again. Then you got to slay the dragon. How do you slay it? By taking action, by questioning it, by finding out the truth. I promise you, my friends, fear will always be there. You're never going to overcome it. Question and challenge, right? Challenge and question the fear thoughts, and then the thoughts of fear, and then act in spite of it. Really simple. By the time you start to do these things, you're going to realize, man, I am making up and I'm addicted to fear because I just really don't want to go do the thing that's required to go get what I desire. Go make a difference for you. All right, my friends, if this has been helpful, like, subscribe on YouTube, go leave us a review on iTunes. If you're listening on Spotify, share it with someone. Thank you for listening. This whole purpose of Your Daily Revolution is to help you to rise up, is to help you to become the most elite version of yourself and to live in a place of power where you can produce results that matter. I appreciate you listening. Until next time, I'm out.